For today's review, we have set 6863 Batwing Battle over Gotham City, containing 278 pieces and retailing for $35 US back in 2012. Now, if you wanted to buy this set off of Bricklink today, the average price new is going to be $65 US, and if you want to purchase it used, that average price is going to be $36 US. Before taking a look at the builds and minifigures, I wanted to take a look at the comic because the comic does come with a set. Now, this is the 4th installment, as you can see here, and turning the page, it'll tell you some of the other sets that you get these comics in. Starting with this one right here, it'll say down here in the bottom left, comic book included, so that one has one. This one does not have one. This is the one we're reviewing right now, so that one does have one. This one up here does have one, as you can see right there, and same with the Batcave as well. So here is some of the images that we get in here. We have Catwoman and Batman there. Flipping the page, you get some of the action that's going on within the actual comic itself. Here are pretty much all the minifigures you get throughout these sets, and it tells you what set you can get these in. So some of these are exclusive to those sets, it seems like. And then we flip the pages and you see more action going on as well. So this is pretty much the set we're looking at now. We have the Joker helicopter here, the Joker, pretty much some of the action sequences that's going on. Here's Batman. Flipping the page again, it's pretty much, again, an entire comic here. Very small, however, but it's still a comic. And, it's just showing some of the action sequences that are going on. And then at the end, it just has some of the final cuts for this thing and what's going to happen pretty much in the future of it. Moving over to our minifigures, we do get 3 minifigures. We have Batman with a Batarang. We have Joker, who has a Tommy gun with a flag at the end of it, showing that he is, quote unquote, playing a joke when he shoots that gun. And then we have the Joker's henchman as our final minifigure. Removing their headpieces, we can get a better look at their faces, specifically Batman and the Joker henchman. Spinning the minifigures around, we can see that all 3 of our minifigures have back torso printing, and I'm a big fan of the henchman's Joker emblem on the back. I feel like that one kind of stands out among the 3. And we also get 2 alternate faces, specifically on the Joker and on Batman. The Joker has more of a smirky smile going on, while Batman has more of a serious face. Taking a look at our first build, we have Joker's helicopter. Now it's following his color scheme. So green is going to be the main color here, with purple, white, and red being the accent colors. We also get some stickers and printed pieces for added detail. So here we have Joker's logo as a sticker. We get that same sticker on the other side here. We also have this J back here, which this is a sticker as well. And we have that same J on the other side here. Now there's also the printed pieces. So you get 2 printed pieces. We have one here on this circular piece, which is just kind of like his face pretty much. And then we go inside the cockpit area and you have these dashboard printed piece here, which is pretty cool as well for that added detail in that interior. Now let's go ahead and put some minifigures in here and see what that looks like. So here's what it looks like when we have our minifigures with the vehicle. So here is the henchman inside the cockpit, piloting the vehicle. So we can go ahead and close that. And that's pretty much what that looks like. And Joker, unfortunately, he doesn't have a spot inside the actual helicopter, but you can have him hanging from this little rope ladder over here, which also adds a cool effect to it. And, you can only imagine how this would look inside of a city, with them flying over and Joker hanging on like a madman. Moving on to the play features, you get 2 play features on this vehicle. The most obvious one being the flick fire missiles. You get 2 on each side here. So you have 1, 2, and then 1, 2. And, we're just going to showcase that real quick. So all you got to do is hold this thing down and just flick them and they go. So there's the right side, and then we have the left side here as well. And those are the flick fire missiles. Next, we have the second feature, and the way that you interact with that is this big red button back here. So all you have to do is push this button, and then this comes out. So this is pretty much what I would assume is a bomb or missile of some type, more likely a bomb. And I would assume it's just supposed to, drop straight down and cause an explosion within the city. This is pretty cool. I like it. I think it's a pretty cool feature. I'm not sure how I feel about this big red button being in the back, but I guess something is supposed to be back here so that you can push it in anyways. So it makes the most sense. At least the color blends in with, his color scheme to some degree. So that's good. But the way that this goes back in here is there is a little pinhole in there. There's the lighting so you can get a better look at it. And you just, put this back in there, push it in with enough force, and it clicks back in, and you're ready for the next round of bombings. For our final build, we have the Batwing. Now, the Batwing is going to follow Batman's color scheme of the black, gray, and yellow. In this case, all the yellow is mainly on stickers except for the interior. So taking a look at these stickers, we get these yellow arrow stickers up on the front. We get the same thing on the back right here. And then the last two stickers are Batman's logos on the left and right side. Now, we don't get any printed pieces, but what we do get is a cockpit, right? So you can get Batman and put him in here. So you can just sit him in there and he just kind of sits in there. There's no studs required for him and you can just kind of close that back up. And that's kind of what he looks like inside the vehicle. Now the cape itself does get bent in there. I will say that. So if you want to display it that way, you do have to deal with the cape getting bent a little bit over time. So you can display it that way or you can just have them outside the vehicle, whichever you choose. Moving on to the play features, we technically get 3 play features with this set. The first one being a transformation feature, so you can just bend these upwards and now he's in like this attack mode for the Batwing. And you can see that the second play feature is going to be these flick fire missiles. They're just kind of hidden under there, which is pretty cool that they just show up when you flip the wings up. So let's go ahead and try to showcase this as best as we can. They are in a little bit of a difficult spot to hit, so they tend to not come out as well as you would like them to just because they're so close to the bricks, but you can get them in there after a couple flicks, and sometimes this brick tends to come off, but I think it might be because I'm flicking it too hard. But it's kind of hard not to flick it that hard when, you know, it's in such a kind of a weird angle, as you can see here. But, you know, that is the showcase for the actual flick fire missiles. Putting the Batwing back in its default mode, we can take a look at the final play feature. So what you got to do here is flip this piece up right here. And you can see that there is this right here that you can push down. And when you push this down, this happens. So you get like this little, what I would assume is a drone or a missile of some kind. Probably heat seeking that just kind of like follows the Joker vehicle around, which is pretty cool. And it just kind of like sits here on this stud right here. And the way that you reload it is just kind of push this on there, and this pushes this back up, and then you can just push it right back down again to release it again. So again, here's everything you get in set 6863 Batwing Battle over Gotham City, containing 278 pieces and retailing for $35 US back in 2012. Now the question is, was this set worth the $35 US price point during that time period? The answer is going to be kind of. I think that the price is a little bit too high, $35 for what you get. I mean, you get 2 builds and 3 minifigs, which is good, but I just think $35 is a little bit too high. But I think that that price increase is mainly due to the fact that they probably have to pay for a license to actually create this stuff because they don't own the IP for it. So that does make sense, but it still does feel a little bit too high to pay for this. I think 30 would have just been the perfect meet me in the middle scenario. It just feels like it works out a little bit better for what you get, both in terms of pieces and in terms of building here. Overall though, the entire set is great. I think they did a good job with the helicopter. It is a 1-seater, so that's kind of a shame, but you can fit Joker on that ladder. But I think that my biggest issue with this is going to be with the actual Batwing and the fact that the flick fire missiles are a little bit just too close to the upper plates to actually get a good shot in with those. So you can't really flick those too well. So that's going to be a shame. And, you know, when you do try to flick them too hard, then some of those pieces come off just because the connection is just like technically a 4-stud connection, but it's still a weak connection compared to what you're trying to do to get that, you know, missile out. So that's pretty much my biggest complaint. I still think the minifigures are okay for what you get here. I mean, you can only fit, you know, 1 henchman and the Joker on this vehicle, and you can only fit Batman on this vehicle, so there wouldn't have been any sense in putting another minifigure other than the fact of just having that minifigure. But what we get here is still good. Again, 35 is a little bit too high. 30 would have been perfect, I feel like, for this. And that's going to conclude my review of set 6863 Batwing Battle over Gotham City. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking the video. And if you are enjoying the content overall, consider subscribing. It is completely free and helps me out in the long run. Now, as always, I will see you guys in my next video.